now, broadcasting live from the Darkroom Studio at Craven Community College, it's In the Know.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to In the Know. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Craig.
We're back. It's our first show of 2025 or 2025, whatever we're calling it this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one comes off the tongue easier?
2025.
2025.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it.
But yeah, so I'm Craig Ramey, and this is my lovely co-host,
Megan Johnson.
Yeah, and this
Happy
is a
New
show,
Year, everybody.
Yeah, Happy New Year. This is a show we do every week from the campus of Craven Community College, where we talk about things going on in our community, things happening at the college, silly stuff.
Fun stuff.
Who knows what it's going to be?
I understand we're going to have a lot of history, so you're going to be in the know
It's a history
at the
day.
end of the show.
Yeah, well, for those who don't know.
I didn't mean to.
That's that was on my checklist of the year, is get Megan to rhyme in the first minute of the show.
I did it.
Check. Did
Check.
it.
Done.
Yeah. But yeah, Craven's
And I
celebrating.
sang. To check.
You sang?
Oh, well, it's kind of show.
I love it. Yeah.
Was
Craven's
a note.
celebrating its 60th anniversary this year. July 1st specifically will be our
Happy
60th
birthday,
anniversary.
Craven Community College.
Yeah. So it'll be a full year of history.
It will.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, this show doesn't happen by itself, though, does it?
It does not.
What do we got?
We got happy people in the green room.
We got shiny, happy people.
Shiny, happy people.
Look at that. We got Joseph. What's up, Joseph?
Hello.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We got Joseph. We got Holly. Hey, Nikki.
Hey, Nikki. Good morning, Holly.
Welcome back. Yeah, this is our first show since December, right? So we're all knocking the dust off of things and having a good time, right?
You got dust.
I'm covered in dust.
Yeah, we did establish that we all brushed our teeth this morning.
Yeah,
so.
we did. Yes.
Yeah, we're all good.
Yeah, it's important.
It is important.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about some silly stuff and some history in just a little minute. But just so people know, we'll be joined shortly by our guest, Mary Elaine Knight, who is our instructor of the practical nursing program. So she'll
Very
be telling
cool.
us a little bit about that program as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Megan, stop reading and tell me what you got going on
so
here.
I probably should have read it a little bit more ahead of time. As you guys can tell, this is not scripted. So we are winging it.
All right, let's wing it. What you got?
So today is National Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. So today we want to, if you have police officers as a friend or a family member, National Law Enforcement Day on January 9th is the perfect time to show officers. We understand how difficult their job is, so it's important to show officers how much we understand their difficult work and appreciate their sacrifice and their risk.
Mm-hmm.
So a few little timeline. You ready?
I'm ready for the history.
Okay. In 1944, New York City is the first American city to establish a municipal police force.
1944?
1844.
Okay, all right. I thought 1944.
Did I say
seemed late.
19?
I heard 19.
18.
I could be wrong.
I'm sorry,
Okay.
1844. In 1857, once again, New York City leads the way with, not the city, but New York leads the way in adopting the first detective unit. And then in 1905, Pennsylvania becomes the first state to establish a state police force.
Okay.
Now,
When you said New York, I just want to hear the Law and Order. Dun, 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 dun. I wanted that to go along with it because they were the pioneers of municipal police.
Hill Street
I guess.
Blues.
Yeah, I never really watched that one that
No?
much. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so you got some more history for me?
I do.
Okay.
So, in our lovely little town of New Bern, right, there was a gentleman he was born in January 18th, 1883. He was the largest baby boy born in North Carolina of that date, 16 pounds.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah.
That's a lot.
He would eventually,
That's a lot.
yes, he would eventually grow to be 6 feet 3 inches, 280 pounds. That wasn't a record. I suppose that was still impressive, right? So let's fast forward. This gentleman became the first black police officer for New York City. His name's Samuel J. Battle, and he was born in New Bern.
Oh, is that right?
Yes. And you know how I learned this first, but before I sent it to Joseph to add this to the screen, is I did Ghost Walk, and one of the spirit actors, that one of the characters, played his mother.
Oh, very cool.
Yes.
Yeah. So he was born in New Bern. Did he grow up in New Bern, or do you know? He did. Okay.
Yes, and his brother-in-law, who also became part of the force, but he was from Kinston, and but he was outside of New York City. So Also, just a few little stats just to push it along. So we also want to appreciate our basic law enforcement program here at Craven Community
That's
College.
right.
I talked to Jim Ward yesterday. We'll put the link in there as well, Joseph, later, so make sure people know how to get a hold of him. We graduate an average of 25 students a year. Most of them have jobs or job placement either prior or during class. So and they have a very high state exam rate. So he said, not this past semester, but this one before, they all, it was 100% the first time they took it. This past semester, there were a few that they were all eligible to retake it and passed it on the second go. So there was just a few of them. This Friday starts the new program. They went from 656 hours of coursework. It's jumped to 868 hours.
Yes, they've definitely expanded the curriculum on that.
So it's going to take approximately 22 weeks to get through. For right now, they do not have a night class available, but they want to get through this one first to work out all the kinks.
Yep.
And the night class will take about 9 months. So that will be an option moving forward. And according to Rick Barney, who's been here a very, 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 very long time, he said, and he's been here for 35 years, and there was a BLET program even before that. So maybe we could find out how long we've had a basic law enforcement program here. I don't know. If anybody knows, share.
Yeah, I feel like I saw it when I was doing some of the research for the 60th, but I don't remember the exact date.
Okay.
One thing I will note in those photos that we were looking at before, one of them showed the dummies that they have to carry to like to do
Simulate.
a rescue, to pull somebody out of a situation. I don't know if you've ever tried to carry one of those, but they are...
I've carried a few dummies before.
Yeah, no kidding, yeah. Every day. That's all we do. Yeah. It is really, really difficult. I think it's about 180 pounds, something like that, and they have to drag it there it is up on the screen there.
Oh, wow.
But yeah, and they have to drag it because they were doing some training, obviously outside there, but there was one day they were doing it in the hall. And
there's Rick Barney in the background.
Yep.
With a black shirt on.
Yeah, it's because they were carrying, some students were visiting, and they were trying to carry, and they could get it maybe 2 feet.
Really?
Yeah, it's very, very heavy. Yep.
Interesting.
So of course at Craven we have a great appreciation for our law enforcement, educating them, and then with our continuing education as well. We have training over at the Law Enforcement Training Center
With
over
Mickey
on
Tillman
over
in the
at the
simulator
Vault as well. So
Yeah.
Yep.
So yay. Happity.
Happity. Yeah.
Happity. So
Yeah.
happy Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Go take some cookies down to the police station.
Okay.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. Yeah. All right. You got any more things of the day
Nope,
or
that's
history
it.
for us? Okay, great.
That's all I got.
So moving on then, we're going to welcome our special guest today.
Yay!
Yes. So we have Mary Elaine Knight from our practical nursing program. She's an instructor with that program. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning. I'm excited to be here to piggyback on some of that. I am new to Eastern North Carolina and relatively new to Craven Community College as well. So I enjoyed actually learning that history as well about the law enforcement. That was pretty cool. And what a cool fact about Samuel J. Battle.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure I would be a ghost too, though, if I had a 16-pound baby. Just needed to add that. I'm pretty sure I would be haunted by that experience.
Done.
Haunted
Right
by that experience.
Give it up. Yeah. So where are you joining us from? Where were you before you moved to Craven County?
So I have lived all my life in Western North Carolina.
Okay.
So I moved here from the Lake Norman area, Catawba County, about 3 years ago for a job relocation for my husband. So that brought us here, and I live in Carteret County and then drive here because I'm incredibly impressed and appreciated to be part of the awesome things going on here at Craven Community. So
That's exciting.
excited to be here.
Very good.
Great. So we want to talk a little bit about the practical nursing program today, right? So
I would love to.
Yeah. So a lot of people know that we have lots of health sciences programs at the college, various different ones, but of course nursing is one of the ones that's been with us from very early on, right?
Yeah, when I was looking up the history to learn, to kind of go into what Megan already shared. So I guess nursing was the actually first curriculum provided by what became
right?
Craven
That's
Community
yeah,
College.
it's
And
not-
so it began in like 1963 out of when it was still out of Lenore Community College. And they were in, so can you hit in like the Harvey Mansion? There were actually classes is where they started.
The first ones were actually at St. Luke's.
Well, they were at St. Luke's, but even before that, they said they started classes in the Harvey Mansion, from what I got it from it.
My
Is that
husband
right?
was born on the third
Yeah,
floor.
so that's St. Luke's there.
Yeah.
So my understanding is that they started at St. Luke's and then moved to the Harvey Mansion.
Well,
and then
maybe
moved
so.
to this
I read some back and forth, but either way, what is the Harvey Mansion?
Yeah, well, right now it's a bed and breakfast that's on South Front Street, right next to the convention center.
Okay.
So it's a very nice high-end bed and breakfast. Before that, it was a restaurant that had a little bar in the basement and a restaurant up top, and then I think a Airbnb or B&B on the very top floor. But yeah, years ago in the 60s, it was classroom space.
It was classroom space,
Craven
and so
Community College.
evidently, from what I could read, 1963. So oldest program here at Craven Community, and it was indeed the practical nursing program. So over 60 years,
Yeah.
right? Am I doing the math correctly? So over 60 years that this program has been serving the community.
Yeah.
So where are we today? Well, today we get to be inside Purdue Hall, which, like you said, is bursting at the seams with lots of programs. But I think that the history there of having this program, the practical nursing program, for like 63 years, essentially shows the ongoing and enduring value of the practical nursing program and that curriculum and how it can serve our community. Really, when I graduated at nursing school about 20 years ago, there were a lot of schools of thought that maybe we were moving away from what we would call the practical nursing program and more towards what many are familiar with as the registered nursing program. So what's the difference?
Yes, please.
Okay. So we call registered nurses RNs. We call practical nurses PNs. They're both nurses. However, the practical nurse is more of an entry level to the profession of nursing, and they're not completely independent in their practice. Therefore, they still have to report to the registered nurse when things are rapidly changing in a patient's condition in order to be able to change their plan of care. So practical nursing is a great way for persons who are interested in nursing to enter the profession. It's a 12-month program versus typically a 24-month program. You sit for licensure just like you would for a registered nurse. The test is the NCLEX PN instead of the NCLEX RN. And so after you finish your 12-month program here, then you are eligible to sit for that and then achieve your licensure through the North Carolina Board of Nursing.
So when you talk about like your interest level, so clearly you had to, before you became an instructor, you actually had to be in the nursing profession. So what was your draw to the nursing profession?
As far as a nurse in general? Well, I think I always knew that I was very interested in, one, the sciences, and then two, in helping people. It really drew me to nursing because you can do so many different things, and you aren't tied into one specialty versus another. And so I've really spent the last 20 years exhibiting that in my profession. I've done trauma at level 1 centers, and then I spent a long time in community health nursing as well. I've done case management, so I've just really enjoyed to see how nursing allows you to really look at the whole person and the holistic person. A lot of times our doctors don't have that time to really learn about what matters to you and what really impacts your health and really impacts your health outcomes. And to me, nursing allows you to see or have a window into that person's health that you really don't get from the medical side. So that's what drew me there and what's kept me there and through all my different experiences.
Awesome.
So I was curious before when you were talking about going through the 12 months of the practical nursing program. Do students typically go through that first and then move on to an RN program, or is that typically more of a terminal degree and people go into the workforce?
Well,
right
it can
after
be
that,
either, which is why it's so great and why it's even more advantageous here at Craven. There are 49 different practical nursing programs across community colleges in North Carolina. So you won't find one at every community college, which is, again, why it's so awesome that it's present here. For example, there's not one at Carteret. There is not one specifically in Onslow. So But you do have that here, and you can choose it to be a terminal program, or you can go ahead and apply directly into the LPN RN program that is also available here at Craven, that will allow you to move into that more independent practice that I discussed as a difference between the PN and RN program. So both of those programs are directly here, and so you can access and complete that whole piece if that is your ultimate, long-term goal. And we have instructors here who have done just that.
So would that path be a full year and then another 2 years?
So I believe, if I'm speaking correctly, so you do the 12 months, and then the PN to RN is another year.
Okay,
So it would be a total of 2 years, if I'm speaking correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. So really awesome opportunities that are available here for people that want to enter that way, or that need, because they're also working, or their life situation just doesn't allow them to enter in that 2-year program. Sometimes people also find themselves that they didn't quite meet the requirements for the RN program, and so the PN requirements tend to be a little bit less rigorous as far as some of the entry testing requirements. And so, before being discouraged and I didn't make it, I'm not going to be able to be a nurse, this offers another avenue to enter that. Instead of being discouraged and feel like they don't have an opportunity to continue, what they feel like is their passion to become a nurse.
So Katie Jenkins is the Workforce Development Coordinator for our CNA 1 and 2 programs, and then that Bridge program as well. So all students have to start in that section first, that CNA. So that it's an easy entry. We've got grant money right now. So if that's something that you're interested in, you just want to find out if that's a profession that you're ready to walk into, certainly a great place to start. Also a great place to get that license, so then you can be working while you're in school. So you're earning a little income and getting that hands-on exposure as well. Yeah,
and even more exciting is that, of course, this year the expansion of the PM program. So historically, 16 students have been accepted on an annual basis into the program during a more traditional daytime curriculum. However, it was added in August to have a night cohort, kind of like you mentioned with the BLET. So there's an addition of another 16 slots for the evening program. That evening program does run 18 months, so it does allow you to work and come to school. It's a lot. It's a heavy load, as you might imagine. However, it's an awesome opportunity, as you just mentioned, for people who really need to stay in the workforce, while also allowing them to enter the nursing profession. And that's been really well received, and there was a full class in August of 16. So we've increased the enrollment opportunity up to 32.
Yeah, and talking about that opportunity for employment, that's one of the reasons why we have that night cohort now, right? Like our community hospitals and have shown that they need
it and have supported it. So Carolina East has been pretty
on board.
I'm looking for the word that I'm looking for, and it's just not coming out. And helping to make sure that program has been available to some of their own medical assistants or nursing assistants, and they've been supportive of helping them get into that program as far as working with their work schedules. So they have been very supportive in that, and I think that is the hope that will continue to be something that works for those there.
Talking about the cohorts, one thing I want to mention is one of my favorite things about the nursing program is because they're able to move through in cohorts, they have that unique ability that other programs don't get to have, where they all get to kind of stay together and they all get to learn together. They get to know each other really well. They become very tight.
Well, I've already experienced that even after my first semester, and if they're listening, it's already been great to see them grow together as a family, as a cohort, just after the first semester, and really support each other to get through a really tough program. So it's exciting, and I've enjoyed how the cohort is moving together, and I think that's made it a stronger program in my eyes, because they are able to unite through some really tough work.
And it's pretty cool because that group will stay and they'll continue to network. So whether they stay in the area or they move, there's always going to be that connection, so it's pretty awesome.
Well, I was trying to think if there was anything else I was going to bring in there. Well, speaking of cohorts, so just to bring it in so I don't forget, but if a person is interested in the day PM program. Those applications are open now through the end of February for that start date of August. So if they are interested, now is the prime time to look at those applications and get that in, or contact us for more questions, because now is that
great.
period.
And I think that that contact for the curriculum side is going to be Brittany Ipock. She's going to be that coordinator for the medical programs. So
Yes.
maybe, Joseph, we can drop Katie Jenkins' contact info and Brittany. So again, starting with workforce and then working into the curriculum side. But it's a great time to sit down with somebody. They may have already had some college under their belt and met some of the requirements, and all of a sudden it's just going to be a faster transition for them. So there's some good opportunities there to sit and get some advising.
Yeah. And the work opportunities for PNs are larger than ever. We are seeing practical nurses being utilized more than we have seen in the past decade. If there are any questions on how practical nurses are being used, historically, again, people thought, I don't want to be a practical nurse. They just work in a nursing home. That is no longer the case. Mm-hmm. We are finding practical nurses in the emergency room, in labor and delivery, postpartum. So, if there are any questions about what the abilities are for work experience, they have really opened as we have seen the shortage in nursing and healthcare providers. And the pay is great.
Yeah.
The average pay in North Carolina is around $60,000 to $65,000 a year. So it can really offer, a great salary for a great job if you have a passion to be a nurse.
That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody is interested in applying and being a part of the cohort that begins in August, I know we talked about reaching out to Brittany, but is there anything that they need to have in order already, or things that they should be pulling together, or they just need to be a high school graduate?
I brought because I didn't want it to misspeak, so I brought it today so I could speak.
Okay.
You do have to be a nurse aide.
Okay.
A level 1, which Megan brought that in because Katie Jenkins helps to facilitate a lot of those programs. So you do have to have that under your belt. You have to be CPR certified. You do have to have completed high school. And have a minimum GPA of 2.5 that's not weighted. And you have to have completed a chemistry course either at high school or the collegiate level with a grade of C.
Okay.
The other classes that are required can be sometimes taken as co-requisites at the same time. Sometimes we tend to discourage that because the nursing load is so heavy that can be difficult for a student to take on some of those other human anatomies and English and that type of thing. But those are typically the minimum application requirements.
Okay.
When you apply, you also do have to take an entry-level exam that we call the TEAS test, TEAS, that you can take here on site upstairs in the testing center. And you do have to receive a minimum score. The score for the practical nursing program is lower than the score required for the RN program. So again, if someone was looking to apply to the RN program and they didn't quite make that cutoff, then this could be an alternative for them. So those are the minimum requirements, but as Megan already mentioned, Brittany Ipock is a great resource and has been a great resource for me to help me say, do they have these other things that we need to make sure that we're moving them through the program?
Because that's what's important. We're doing everything we can to help our students get started. And if they're not ready for August, we can tell them what they need to do to be ready for the next cohort.
Right.
Yeah. So it shouldn't feel intimidating or overwhelming to look at that list of requirements, because there's
we can help you check
sort of
those
eat
off.
That elephant one bite at a time and get there, right?
That's right.
Yes. Yeah. And right now, I do know that the Nurse Aid one on the Havelock campus and on the New Bern campus are full, and there's a wait list for it. But there will be other ones coming. So, so don't get discouraged.
Okay. Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
Mary Elaine, anything else you want to add about the program before we start moving on to a few other things?
I don't think so. I was excited to be here. If folks have questions or comments or we're excited to hear them, and I personally would love to hear them and incorporate them. Just excited that Craven continues to offer this program after 63 years. I think it will continue to serve our community in ways that just as it has for many decades.
Well, we're glad you joined the team.
Thank you so much.
Yes, it's exciting.
Since you mentioned the history, I do have a little bit of a blurb that we had already prepared for the practical nursing program and its history. So I'm going to ask Joseph to put that photo of St. Luke's up on the screen again, just so we can learn a little bit of what we had pulled together already. So the oldest curriculum program at Craven Community College is practical nursing, starting on November 13th, 1963. This program was to occupy the 4th floor of the old St. Luke's Hospital, which you see there, located on the corner of Broad and George Streets in New Bern. We had 14 students enrolled in that program and 1,533 students enrolled in continuing education classes at that time as well. Miss Hildred Harrison, Director of Nursing at Craven County Hospital, was our first instructor and an invaluable asset in getting this program started. She continued in essentially 2 jobs until Mrs. Maxine Cleat was employed as the first regular instructor for the LPN program. How cool is that?
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, and so that's obviously one of our graduating classes. So we do group photos for each of those cohorts as they come through, and that's always a lot of fun. Joseph's been able to do those a couple times. I think Holly has too. So, but they're always so happy. I think that's one of the first times that they really get to put on the full-on uniform and get ready, and like things start to feel real.
They love that
right?
white.
Yeah, of course they do.
They love that white, and they love that hat.
Yeah.
Not.
Yeah. Is there ever a need to wear that in the day-to-day? It's like that's just like a graduation gown,
That is,
right?
You know,
for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, you know, at one time, out of the thought was that if you wore that white and it was a symbol of hygiene and sanitation, of course. Now we joke like. Yeah, you couldn't make it through a day without.
That's like
that's the worst outfit in a tight starched dress with hose. Yeah, and no one would be employed as a nurse if they had to wear that on a daily basis anymore.
Yeah, nobody would want to see you walking into the room.
They would not care.
Yeah.
They would not apply to the nursing program.
That's great. But yeah, so I love that. I love that we have that history. And Mary Elaine, I'm glad that you're here with us.
Thank
part
you.
Of that
I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Thanks again.
Yes, ma'am.
You're more than welcome to stay. We're going to talk about a few other things.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. It's time for community events.
Dun, 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 dun.
All right, so Walk-In Bathtub, the improv comedy group, will be at the Civic Theater this Saturday, January 11th at 7:30 p.m. That's at the New Bern Civic Theater, located at 414 Pollock Street in downtown New Bern. New Bern's best and only improv comedy group is back for another show with guaranteed laughs. Every Walk-In Bathtub show is different because audience suggestions fuel the ridiculous riffs, wacky worlds, and silly situations. Alliterations may vary, that unravel on stage. Like improv games played on the TV show Whose Line Is It Anyway? Walk-In Bathtub promises a night you won't be able to forget, no matter how hard you try. Tickets can be purchased at newberncivictheater.org.
You'll be one of those silly, wacky folks.
I will. I will be in that show on Saturday.
Silly, wacky.
We'll be celebrating Step in a Puddle and Splash Your Friends Day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So is the stage going to be pretty wet?
It might be. Who knows?
Might be.
Yeah, we should probably get some super soaker guns and
Oh, the
blast
audience
the audience.
will love that.
Yeah, they would love it.
Yeah,
It would be like 20 degrees outside.
Well, we're going to have Jack's Island ribbon cutting ceremony January 17th at 10 a.m. So join New Bern Parks and Recreation Department next Friday for a ribbon cutting of the newly completed Marsh Walk and Picnic Shelter at Jack's Island. Location is Lawson Creek, which is 1309 Country Club Road, New Bern. If you're not familiar, take the Pembroke exit, then go towards the Blue Angel, and then keep going. Go till it dead ends.
Yep, all the way to the back.
All the way to the back.
At the Gallery Concert Series, music of the, I don't know how to pronounce this, is it Croce and Chapin? Performed by Ken Kennedy. 317 Middle Street, New Bern, North Carolina. Craven Arts Council and Gallery is proud to present At the Gallery, Croce and Chapin. Performed by local artist Ken Kennedy, featuring music of American folk artists James Croce and Harry Chapin. Hopefully I'm not butchering these names.
You're doing good.
Doors will open at 6 p.m. with a pre-concert talk by Lee Purcell beginning at 6:30. Tickets are $20 for members and $25 for non-members. Available in person at Bank of the Arts or online at www.cravenarts.org.
Woohoo! We're going to walk with the doc on January 18th from 9 to 10, Creekside Park, 1821 Old Airport Road. Join Walk with the Doc for the first walk of 2025. Dr. Deb Melkowski will be discussing tips for maintaining a healthy weight without the use of medication. After the presentation, they will head out for a group walk. This event is free and open to the public. People of all ages and abilities are welcome. Folks can walk at their own pace and choose a distance that works for them. My understanding, though, is you're going to meet at Lawson Creek Park only if it is above 40 degrees. If not, you're going to meet at the New Bern Mall and walk with a duck. It's a great opportunity. It's open for Q&A and all kinds of fun stuff.
Yep, sounds great.
Yep.
And I think that's it for our events this week, isn't it?
You got a little bit more.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hey, turn the page, Craig. The John Brown Big Band, The Roots of Jazz, January 24th at 7:30 p.m., performing at Gramercy Fields Performing Arts Center at 2000 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in New Bern. In celebration of our 60th anniversary, the Lifetime Learning Center is pleased to welcome John Brown Big Band to help us celebrate with a presentation titled The Roots of Jazz. John Brown Big Band is a full 17-piece jazz orchestra made up of the top jazz musicians from North Carolina and beyond. The group performs a wide range of material, covering all eras of jazz repertoire, including the music and arrangements of legends like Count Basie, Duke Ellington, Thad Jones, Woody Herman, and more. Tickets are $40 for general admission, $25 for students, and $60 for VIP sitting. Can be purchased at cravencc.edu/explorations.
Very good. Well, this has been a whirlwind of a Thursday morning, hasn't it?
Well, we had a lot to pack in here.
It was a lot of history.
We had a lot of history. We had a nice long break.
Everybody's in the know now.
Everybody knows everything now.
If you don't, or if you want to know more, put it in the comments. We'd
That's
love
right.
to see
Yeah,
it.
we love to hear your comments. Do we know who's with us next week, Joseph? Or we're still waiting?
She's with the New Bern Preservation Foundation.
All right. We'll have somebody from the New Bern Preservation Foundation next week.
Fun.
Even more history.
More history. Surprise.
And speaking of history, I feel like we should have a recap video of 2024. We should show that off.
That's right. We should.
You have one?
Joseph put together of all the things that happened at Craven over the last few months.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Here, I'm ready. Craig and Holly had a cameo.
We did. Yeah, we were in there. And then, of course, Joseph put that together.
Nice job, Joseph.
Yeah, great job, Joseph. Yeah, we had a lot of fun this past year, didn't we? We were busy.
A lot.
Yeah, and we're off and running again.
We are.
For this year.
Got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, so I look forward to the next video that Joseph puts together for us in December.
Fantastic.
Yep.
We look forward to having all the students coming back on campus.
Yes, we do.
Yep.
Next week.
Absolutely.
It's about to happen.
It's going to be busting.
All right.
It's all good stuff. You got anything coming on?
I don't think so. I think we're good.
Anything else to talk about?
No, I think we're okay.
No? We do have some wintry weather precip coming out. So 2 things. If you're not on Rave Alerts, you want to put that in there. And then you've got a new app that you might want to share that people can start using.
Yes. So just to be clear for anybody who's curious, the Rave app is how you receive your information. It's how you get an alert, how you get the text, the emails, the phone calls, and all that. So do sign up for that in case you're signed up for a class this weekend and we do have to close. You'll learn that way. The new app that we have that's now in the Apple Store and Google Play is called Craven Safe. And that really just has a lot of great security features that you can go reach out for. So it's not necessarily for receiving information as much as it is reaching out for security or emergency contact information. There's one really cool feature that's a virtual walk home, where you can press a little button and then alert security that you're walking to your car, for example, after dark. And so they're watching you virtually on the map walk to your car. And then when you get to the end, you can press the button that says either safely arrived at my destination or I need help. And so they're watching the whole time.
What a great feature.
Yeah. So that's in the store now, and we'll have more information about the features available with that over the next few weeks. But
to sign up for Rave, it's super easy. Just go into our search engine on the main page and just type in the word RAVE, and it'll pop up, and it says in black it'll get sign up for Rave Alerts.
Yep. You can also go to cravencc.edu/rave.
There you go.
Yeah. Very good.
Yes. I get my students to sign up for it all the time.
I'm glad you do.
It's a whole lot easier
important.
to do that than send out emails and make phone calls.
Yeah. Well, it's also great to not drive all the way to campus and find that the doors
are
are
locked.
Yeah, because everybody else got the message that we were closed, but you didn't because you
Yes.
didn't sign up for rave. Get in the rave party.
Rave.
That's right. Let's rave.
Yes. All right. So stay safe this weekend with the impending. I kind of looking forward to a little white stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not the ice. I don't really care for ice.
Yeah.
But it would be
I think
pretty.
we'll probably get more slush than snow, but
Yeah. Anyway, but in the meantime, we're going to see you next Thursday. So stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
bye, everybody.
3, 2, 1, let's go.